to our Division of Teacher Education Application Workshop. My name is Leanne Kuhn. I'm the Director of the Office of Credentials. To give you some context, my office is where your application is reviewed in the School of Education before it moves to the program directors for an admission decision. Over the past year, we have identified a few of the required items that, when uploaded incorrectly, really slow down the application files and delay admission decisions. So my hope is that this video will help you, that I can show you some of the specific examples and the important information that you need to ensure your application packet moves through all of the steps and you receive a favorable admissions decision as quickly as possible. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that you're going to hear the acronym CTC several times throughout the video. The CTC is the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing. This is the organization that makes all of the regulations and sets standards for all California credential preparation programs. When you have completed your program, your credential will be granted by the CTC. So now that we've covered that, let's get started by looking at the application and identify those areas of concern that I mentioned earlier. So when you start your application, actually previous to this page, you're going to have some options of what program to choose. If you're unsure of what to choose, we would encourage you to speak to a program representative at the Graduate and Professional Center. They can answer your questions and help you decide which program is best to meet your needs and help you reach your goals. So for our purposes today, I've chosen a teaching and multiple subject teaching credential program. And this is from our master's and credential program that is combined. And that you can complete in approximately a year and a half. So first of all is our demographics section. That's very easy. You want to make sure that you click this save and continue at the end of every section when you see it, so that when you return to your application, you don't have to redo any of your work. You're going to fill out all of your demographic information and save and continue. As you complete each section, you're going to do your current employment and then any additional information. So this is one of the first areas of concern that we always run into. It is very important for any of our teacher education applications that you enter your birth date and social security number. I know that some people feel uncomfortable with putting this information on an online application. However, we need this information to verify that you have an active CTC document, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. And we can't do the verification that we have to do unless we have your social security number and date of birth. Please know that we deal with all student information in the most confidential manner possible, and that your social security number and date of birth will not be shared with anyone outside the university. So make sure you save and continue again here. So the next section is going to be your previous colleges. I've already filled out some information here so that the document sees that I've done some previous things. But you will have the option to have a drop down and to start typing into this section your school. And let's see, there it is. There's lots of help text in the application, so make sure that you are reading those areas as well. But this is a great search bar. You can put in, you start typing and your college or university will come up. You want to make sure that you tell us what degree you have received. For our programs, you need to have a posted bachelor's degree. So that's a very important section. This next section is a tricky spot for us, which is transcripts. So you want to make sure that you request your official transcripts that show your BA has been posted to be sent to the graduate and professional admissions. You want to make that request early. Transcripts must be in a sealed envelope from your undergraduate institution and addressed to the graduate and professional admissions department. If your institution sends digital transcripts, they must be sent directly to gpadmissions@apu.edu, and we'll show you that information again at the end. Keep in mind that sometimes official transcripts can take a while to receive, so you want to make sure, like I said, you make those requests early. If your BA is not posted by the time of your application, you need to submit official transcripts up to the point of application and a letter from the registrar of your undergraduate institution saying that you are on track to complete your undergraduate work and when the anticipated date of your degree conferral will take place. This is the only thing that can replace posted BA on an official transcript, and this would allow you to be conditionally admitted into our programs. Our program expectations for admissions is a 3.0, but if your undergrad GPA is lower than this, that doesn't mean you won't be admitted, so we would encourage you to apply anyways. If your GPA is lower than a 2.5, there is a list of departmental admission exceptions in our catalog that provides some options to be met in order for you to be conditionally admitted. So on the screen, you'll see our 4 exceptions. So for example, one exception that many students choose is option number 2. You must have your CBEST score, your CBEST passed, but also you can pass your CSET subtests, and that would be meeting one of those expectations and would help you to have a more favorable admission decision. So just as a side note for our teacher education applicants, it's also a really good idea for you to take the time to upload and send us all of your any community college transcripts that you may have. Our credential analysts would use those to determine whether you have met the U.S. Constitution requirement and or to see if you qualify for any additional supplemental authorizations at the point of credentialing. And really, if you get all of these in at your application time, then you don't have to think about them again. So make sure that once you've completed that section, you again do save and continue. All right, so the next section we come to is the recommendations. Really review this help text here because it's very helpful in giving you an idea of who you should send your recommendations to. The important thing is that you choose 3 references who can speak directly to your academic or professional aptitude, behavior, competence, character, and willingness to learn. Some people you might want to consider would be current or previous employers, current or previous professors, a pastor you volunteered for, professional mentors, or a colleague from work. Make sure it is someone who has seen you in action in a leadership, employment, or educational role. You don't want to send these to family members or personal friends. These references are looked at very carefully during the admissions process to determine if you will be a fit for our program. So you want to send these to people who can speak to all of those items for you. When you decide who you'd like to use, it's always a good practice to get consent and to give the person a heads up that they will be getting an email request for a recommendation so they don't miss it in their box. So the way this works is that you will enter all of the information in for your recommendations. I'm going to enter in their personal information. And then you're going to put in the email for this person. As soon as you hit save and continue at the bottom of the section, the same one that you've seen throughout the application, this person is going to receive an email stating that you've asked for a recommendation, and it will have an online form for them to fill out. The recommender can fill out that form all at once or little by little, and they can save as they go. They can also choose not to fill out the form, and in that case, you will receive a message in email form saying that that person has declined to give you a recommendation. At that point, you'll want to go back into your application and choose someone different. So you're going to choose 3 here, and then those emails will go out. Now, we have heard from some people that sometimes those emails go into a spam folder. So if the person that you've chosen says to you that they haven't received it, you want to make sure that they check their spam folder as well. All right, the next section here that you come to is your personal statement. Again, there's help text here for you. It's very important to upload a well-written piece that speaks to your experience, personal and professional history, why you are applying to the program, as well as your goals for the future. These are read by multiple people, and it is truly an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and make a great first impression. This is also your opportunity to highlight your writing skills. Correct grammar and well-structured thoughts and ideas should be included. And just a side note, it is best to upload this as a PDF so that the format is unchanged from what you intended. We've had some people try and upload things from their phones or tablets, and those sometimes the format can be changed from what you intended. So make sure you save it as a PDF and then upload that. So whenever you're uploading something, you're just going to hit this little cloud here, and you're going to select your file, and it will put it directly into your application. Again, make sure you save and continue. Our next section is our resume. It's important that you submit a professionally structured resume, especially highlighting any experience you have had in the K-12 school system. Again, it is best to upload a PDF of this document if possible. If for some reason you don't have a resume, which I would really encourage you to do, but if for some reason at this time of application you don't have one, you can also fill out this statement of experience that is linked here to the application. Again, you want to save and continue. So now we get into our other requirements for program admission. The first one is proof of your basic skills, that those have been satisfied. The way that most people do this is by passing the CBEST, and if that's the course that you choose, then you would want to download your CBEST passing score report, which looks like this. Some people choose to send us this portion of the score report as long as it has your name and last 4 digits of your Social Security number. This will provide proof of your basic skills requirement met. You can also send us the entire page. That's fine as well. So as I said, many people choose the CBEST as the way to meet this requirement. However, there are also other ways to meet your basic skills requirement. One would be through an ACT with a score for math of 23 and a score for the English section of at least 22, or an official score report of an SAT with the score of 550 for math and 500 for English. If you do not have official score reports of these 2 things, you would need to order them. The SAT and the ACT you order from the College Board, and for the CBEST you order from Pearson. Just an extra note, if you are going to use SAT or ACT, we've learned from experience that you will need to actually call and request that a physical hard copy be sent to your home for credentialing purposes. Otherwise, they will want to send you a digital copy, and digital copies are not accepted by the CTC at this time. Also, your credential analyst will need to see a hard copy later in the credentialing process, so it's best to just get this taken care of at the beginning during your application process. Please remember that your application will not be accepted without official score reports of either the CBEST or the SAT or ACT. So official score reports are very important in this section. Once you have uploaded those, save and continue. And then we move on to our next tricky section, which is our CSET registration. At APU, we are not a subject matter content program. We are a pedagogy and methods program. So when you are taking your master's classes, you're not going to be learning the subject matter of multiple subject classes or K-12 standards. You're going to be learning the pedagogy and the methods of which you will use to teach that information. So therefore, we need proof of subject matter competency before you will be able to proceed to clinical practice. So in this section here, you will need to upload a registration of the next available CSET if you have not taken one as of now. So let me show you what that looks like so that we can make sure we have the correct information. So this is a CSET registration. The reason why this is a tricky spot is because some people choose to upload the receipt that they paid for their CSET test, and that's not what we want to see. We need to see a CSET registration which shows us what subtests you have registered to take and when that will be taking place and what the location is you are taking it. We'll know that it's yours because up here we'll have your personal information of your email address, and there'll be your name and other ID information up here. So it's very important that you upload the correct document in this spot. This is an area that often stops applications. So if you've not taken any CSET tests, again, you need to send a registration for one appropriate CSET subtest. Now, if you have taken CSETs, then what we would expect to see would be a score report showing that you have passed one or up to 3 of your CSETs. So we'll know this is yours because it will have the last 4 digits. Your name and address will be on the score report, and it will show us what subtest you took, what date, and that you passed. So let me give you an example. For our multiple subject friends and our special ed friends, you all will be required to pass 3 CSET subtests for multiple subject. So if you've already passed one, that is fantastic. We would like to see a score report for the one that you passed, and then we would also like to see that registration again for the next subtest that you're going to take. If you have passed all of the subtests, then your score report would look like this. Again, we'll know because it'll have your 4 digits of your social security, your name and address, and we're going to see all of the subtests pass. So as you can see, this person passed all 3 subtests, different dates, but all passed. And so by us seeing this, then we will know that you have met all of your subject matter requirement. So please make sure that you upload the correct documents in this area. So again, it's going to be either score reports that you've passed all of the subtests, a score report of 1 or more passed plus a registration, or just a CSET registration for the next available test. All right, and you can take a screenshot of that, you can take a picture of it, you can scan it in. It doesn't matter how we get it, but then you'll want to upload that right there, and save and continue. The next requirement that we have is that every applicant must have a valid CTC document. So a valid CTC document could be a previous credential, like a substitute credential, or even a previous teaching credential if you're coming in for a different credential program. If you do not have a valid CTC document, then you would need to apply for a certificate of clearance. And there's some good help text here to help you. There are instructions here attached, linked, so that if you need to know how to apply for your CTC document, then you can choose that link and it will give you all that information. So let me show you what those look like so that you'll know what it is we're looking for in the upload. So if you have a previous credential, you could be uploading something that looks like this, that would show us what your previous credential is and what the valid dates are. Or it could look like this. Again, we would see your name first and last, so we would know it was you, and it will list any credentials that you have here, as well as the expiration dates. That's what we're looking for as well. So if you already have a previous CTC document, those would be the kind of documents that you could take a screenshot of, or a copy of, or a scan of, and upload into your application. Actually, if you're getting a COC, it would look exactly the same, except it would say Certificate of Clearance here, and we would have the valid dates as well. So in this area, you want to upload a document that looks similar to this. Now, sometimes what catches people up is they want to upload their live scan request, which is the form that they fill out when they go to get their fingerprints done. However, that would be an incorrect document to upload. So you want to make sure that you are uploading the correct item here for your CTC document. And just so you know, there are some very important dates that you need to remember, and that is we are looking for CTC documents that are valid through June 30th for our spring term applicants. So the reason why I bring that up is because if you already have a CTC document, but it expires in February, March, April, May, you will need to get that renewed in order for the expiration date to be later than June 30th. That's very important, and oftentimes this is a spot that catches people up. Okay, so you want to make sure that you upload a valid CTC document and or a certificate of clearance. Screenshot, scanned in, copied, and uploaded here. Save and continue. As we are getting to the end of the application, there's just a few other questions here about academic dismissal and or any previous convictions. If you answer yes to these, you will need to upload, for this situation, a paragraph of the situation and how it was resolved. If you have any previous convictions, then you'll need to upload not only a paragraph about that, but also any court documents or any supporting public documents to go with that situation. If you have experienced either of these, please don't be discouraged. It definitely does not mean you won't be admitted, but we do need that information uploaded. All right, and lastly, you will need to read and reflect on and then sign our statement of agreement and save and review your complete application. And that would be when you have done all of these things and you are ready to submit to the program. So lots of people ask how long it will take before they get a decision. And I want to tell you there is no pat answer for that question. The Graduate Admissions Department, along with my office and the entire School of Education, strives to complete the whole process in less than a month after all your final documents are uploaded. We also want to encourage you that if you have any questions about your CTC documents or your application, you are welcome to contact the Graduate and Professional Center. The number and email is on the screen, as well as you are welcome to contact the Office of Credentials at soecredentials@apu.edu, or the phone number there you see as well. Our credential analysts are here to help you in any way we can, and so we look forward to receiving your phone calls and are happy to help if you have questions about your application or the application process.